We are live right here on the DRN for race number 2 of the ESRC Elite Late Model Dirt Series right here at Volusia Speedway Park. For the first time ever, I'm your host, TJ Dayton, Tim Dayton, whatever you want to call me. As we are live right here from Volusia, we're going to get to some good old qualifying. Scott Tice, currently on the pole with a 15.030. Take a look at Quinn McLean. Had a decent, alright showing last Monday night. Gonna put it up to 8th, 15.206, 15.206 for Quinn McLean. Andy Patton. Maybe going off for his last lap here. He's just going around enjoying himself. Kincaid only puts it 4th position. A 15.141, 15.141 for Keith Kincaid, last week's winner. Only going to put it in 4th position. Greg Parmalee, your pole sitter here at the moment in the K2 Motorsports Tipsy Tims Patent Triple A Rob's Cows Young Gun Creations number 04. That will, I believe, wrap up qualifying. As we take a quick moment here. This event proudly sponsored by Ruck Offshore and a proud sponsor of the ESRC. Ruck Offshore is a veteran-owned brand built for those who live life on the water. Inspired by the discipline and resilience of the offshore anglers, they create high-performance apparel and gear designed for durability, comfort, functionality in the toughest conditions, while actively supporting marine conservation to help protect the oceans that fuel our lifestyle. Ruck Offshore's apparel lineup of lightweight performance shirts, hats, and sun protective gear also fits perfectly into the racing world, giving drivers and crews breathable comfort for long, hot days at the racetrack. Check them out at www.ruckoffshore.com and buy your gear today. Along with Team Holloway Racing and Graphics. Check them out at Todd at teamholloway.com. So far, like I said, Greg Parmalee, top of the board here at Volusia. As we will get into our first heat race of the night, starting on the pole. It is the number 04 of Greg Parmalee alongside David Brill, who had a great showing last week before getting caught up in that wreck he had. Roll number 2 is going to be Kyle Adams, who had a great showing on Wednesday night in the Asphalt Late Model Series, alongside Chris Farmer. Row number 3, Andy Patton, who finished 2nd position behind Keith Kincaid on Monday night, alongside Scott Tice in position number 5. Position number 6. Row number 4 goes to Quinn McLean and Tim McDowell in the number 45. Position Number 7 goes to Gary Offit. The lineup is all kind of screwed tonight, but we will be going green here with one more lap on the board, ready to turn them loose for heat race number 1 right here at the Volusia Speedway Park. It's a beautiful flyby of the field presented by K2 Motorsports. As they round turn number 4, we're going to be green for heat race number 1. Greg Parmalee out to a great lead here. David Brill takes control of that second position. Battle for third here. Andy Patton alongside Chris Farmer. Greg Parmalee leads lap number 1. Strong showing so far here in the early go. Nine laps to go at the line. 8 laps to go. 3 wide in the back. Great battle here between Patton and Chris Farmer. Looks to shuffle itself out as Greg Parmalee still in the lead here with 7 laps to go. Six laps to go on the board. Oh, big hit for Quinn McLean. Parmalee just cruising here with 5 laps to go for the number 04 machine out of Kansas City. Parmalee just cruising. Nobody in sight behind him. 1.3 seconds ahead of David Brill and 2.2 seconds ahead of Andy Patton. Just anywhere near the guys behind him. 3 laps to go. Coming to 2 laps to go is Greg Parmalee as he rounds turns 1 and 2. David Brill starts to reel in. White flag here for Greg Parmalee. As he rounds turns 3 and 4, Greg Parmalee is going to see the checkered flag in heat race number 1. David Brill in second, Andy Patton third. Fourth is Chris Farmer. Rob Cassidy, position number 5. Quinn McLean, position number 6. Chris Hall, position number 7. And Gary Offit rounds out heat race number 1. As we get the grid for heat race number 2 on the screen here, and it is wrong again. Scott Tice on the pole in the number 24, alongside Keith Kincaid. Row number 2 is going to be Brett McCoy in the number 1, your winner on Wednesday night, alongside Russell Harrell. And rounding out the field is going to be Tim McDowell, Kyle Adams, and Chris Reinold. Reinold in that beautiful 71 machine as they come down the backstretch here on your screen, right here on the DRN. One lap to go. 1 lap to go. Under pacing. Get your snacks, get your water, get your drinks. And in Brett McCoy's dad's case, get your Brett McCoy flags, get your hats, get your shirts. We're about to go let them loose for 10 laps on tap for heat race number 2. Scott Tice leads the field to the green flag. Out of turn number 4, green flag back in the air. As they head into turn number 1, Keith Kincaid right down to the inside of Scott Tice. Not quite alongside as they head to turn number 3. Side by side, Tice pulls out in front to lead lap number 1. But Keith right on his bumper, and it looks to be Brett McCoy who brings out the yellow flag. Unfortunate commentator's curse, if you will. Let's take a quick look. McCoy was in that third spot. Just taps the wall coming out of 4. Russell Harold had nowhere to go. Unfortunate for Brett McCoy. McCoy currently sitting in the pits. Lots of damage on that number 1 machine. Lots of damage to the back end of that machine. Scott Tice still leading the field here. With Keith Kincaid in second, Russell Harold went to third with that caution. Tim McDowell in position number 4, Chris Reinald in position number 5, and rounding out the field in the 6th position out of active drivers who are currently on the racetrack, Kyle Adams in that beautiful number 9 machine, or the 124 if you will. But it says the number 9, so we're going to call it the number 9 on the raceway. As field going to double up this time. 1 to go. iRacing Pace Truck shuts its lights off. Brett McCoy rejoins the field at the back. I don't believe he went a lap down there. iRacing Pace Truck gonna pull down pit road here. Back out with the green flag. Scott Tice continues to lead, but Keith Kincaid to the inside. Slide job puts Tice in the wall. 7 laps to go and the caution's out. Holy moly. A lot to unpack there. Scott Tice just got shunted. Let's take a quick look at that wreck. As you can see, he was fighting for the lead with Keith Kincaid really hard with 7 laps to go. Keith just sent a Hail Mary, didn't stick, and sent Scott Tice packing into the wall. Unfortunate circumstances for Tice. Just not enough. And that will bring us under your second caution of heat race number 2. Brett McCoy down pit road to repair some of his damage from that lap 3 wreck. Missed his box there, but, it's all right. Brett McCoy, of course, it's only the heat race. You got plenty of feature left to go here tonight. as the cars go by on the front stretch. And Kincaid still going to keep the lead. I don't know about that. That was a little harsh, and the officials definitely have to look into that probably. But, who am I to say? I'm only the announcer here at the DRN. Keith Kincaid going to lead them back to the green flag. Green flag back in the air. There's a cute, great battle here for position number 2. Chris Reinald gets to the front. Kyle Adams looks to go under Russ Harold here. Side by side as they go into turn number 1. 5 laps to go here in race number 2. Side by side once again as they go into turn 3 and 4. Kyle Adams still fighting on that inside lane. But, cuts off Scott Tice. Him and Tice got into it on Wednesday night, if you remember. Kincaid still has a 2.26 second lead over second place Chris Reinald. Kyle Adams maybe had some trouble there, lost 2 spots to Russ Harold and Scott Tice. 2 laps to go. Coming to the white flag is Keith Kincaid here at Volusia. Heat race number 2 going to be in the books. 3 seconds ahead is Kincaid. And it is not going to be enough for the rest of the field. Keith Kincaid victorious in heat race number 2. Chris Reinald, position number 2. Scott Tice, P number 3. Russ Harold, position number 4. Kyle Adams, 5th. Brett McCoy, 6th. And rounding out that field of heat race number 2, Tim McDowell. That'll put us to our feature event. Let's take a look at your starting lineup. As we go into warm-up right here on the DRN. Row number 1, Greg Parmalee in the 04 machine out of Kansas City. In the Patton AAA Rob's Cows Young Gun Creations number 04. Alongside heat race number 2 winner, Keith Kincaid in the Fleming Hot Cheetos ESRC. K2 Motorsports number 17 out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Row number 2, David Brill. Out of Fort Ripley, Minnesota, in the Rocky Ridge Laborers Tunnel to Towers 988 Veterans Crisis Hotline number 88. That is David Brill in position number 3. Position number 4, out of Hamilton, Ontario, in the Glenn Stiers Racing Weekend Speedway G-Force TV Ed Carley Motorsports number 71. It's going to be Chris Reinald. Andy Patton finished position number 2 to Keith Kincaid on Monday night last week in race number 1 of the season, alongside Scott Tice in position number 6. Row number 4 brings us to Chris Farmer in the number 31. In the Dungeon of Speed Simden number 31, alongside Russ Harold. Row number 5 brings us to Rob Cassidy. Had some terrible luck last week at Charlotte, looking to rebound here tonight, alongside Kyle Adams. Row number 6 brings us to Quinn McLean in the number 21 machine, alongside Wednesday night's late model stock winner at New Smyrna Speedway, Brett McCoy in position number 12. Position number 13 brings us to Chris Hall, alongside Tim McDowell, position number 14. And then rounding out the field in position number 15 here tonight, Gary Oppa. That is your starting lineup here tonight. Gonna take a look at some cars here on the raceway. Keith Kincaid in the Flaming Hot Cheetos machine. Makes his way around the racetrack. As there's Brett McCoy. Take a look at Brett here. One Wednesday night's New Smyrna Speedway late model asphalt touring series event. Brett out of Poplar Grove, Illinois, in the Finnegan's RB Nielsen Racing left-hander chassis #1 machine. Looking good here, currently position number 3 in warm-ups. Definitely a different track from what we saw in heat races. As we will take a quick break here, we'll be right back here on the DRM. As we will get to our national anthem here, sung by the one and only Kyle Adams' brother himself, Simon Adams. Take it away, Simon.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
With a beautiful rendition of our national anthem. One lap to go with the iRacing pace car here for the formation lap. Pacing around the racetrack, Greg Parmalee, Keith Kincaid on the front row. David Brill and Chris Reinald make up row number 2. And Andy Patton and Scott Tice both had bad luck of their own, but Andy Patton was able to make the best of it last Monday night. As the cars roll down the backstretch, beautiful field of dirt late models here tonight. The iRacing pace car pulls down pit road. Green flag in the air for race number 2 of the series. As they head off into turn number 1, David Brill takes the early lead. Keith Kincaid in position number 2. Greg Parmalee, position number 3, all under a blanket here. Keith Kincaid looking to try his best for the lead. 35 laps on tap here tonight. As Greg Parmalee looks to take position number 2 away from Kincaid. Coming off of turn number 4. Not going to do so. Still side by side going into turns number 1 and 2. As Kincaid takes second position all for himself. David Brill still out to a 2:10 lead in the early going of this race on lap 3. Going to lap number 4 here, or on lap number 4, going to lap number 5. David Brill still in the lead. Keith Kincaid, position number 2. Greg Parmalee, position number 3 as they go to lap 6. 30 laps to go on the board. We got a battle in front of Brett McCoy here. Chris Reinald and Russ Harold. Not much of a battle no more. As Tyson Parmalee looking at maybe getting to a big battle here with 29 laps to go in the future. But a battle for the lead. Keith Kincaid to the inside of David Brill for position number 1 as they head into turns number 3 and 4. Kincaid takes the lead of the race with 27 laps to go. For 28 laps to go. Coming to 27 this time by. As they head down the back stretch. Into turn number 3 and 4. Parmalee looking for second on David Brill, pounding the back bumper of the number 88 machine. Parmalee had a solid run at Charlotte last Monday night to cap off round number 1, looking to cap off round number 2 with a solid top 3 finish. Because he certainly had the speed, just got caught up in some unfortunate incidents that cost him a shot at a podium finish. As Kincaid pulls away, Scott Tight looking to reel in Greg Parmalee once again. 24 laps to go on the board. Three laps to go. Kincaid still your leader. As Kyle Adams, beautiful slide job for Rob Cassidy. McLean taps the wall a little bit. As catching some lap traffic here is Kincaid. Right on board with the Season 4 overall champion. Slinging it through turns 3 and 4. It's coming to 20 laps to go. Caution free so far here at Volusia. Catching up to some lap traffic. Chris Hall, Tim McDowell, Quinn McLean, all in front of the leader. And Chris Hall goes a lap down. Tim McDowell up next on the chopping block. As going through turns 3 and 4, Tim McDowell goes a lap down. Quinn McLean also goes a lap down to the leader with 16 laps to go. Coming to the front stretch once again to collect 15 laps to go. Oh, McLean hits the wall hard. Looks maybe a big wreck behind them. And a yellow flag, first caution of the night with 15 laps to go on the board. Let's take a look at Quinn McLean's crash here with 15 to go. McLean was just looked like to be up high, just smacked the wall. I definitely heard something, but just went around and got smacked by Greg Parmalee. Unfortunate for that machine. He's trying to get it turned around, and just nothing he could do as Quinn McLean goes to pit road to fix his damage. Keith Kincaid, still your leader, with 15 to go still on the board. If you like what you see with the ESRC here tonight, go to www.racemrl.com and register for the series if you're 50 up. I know they would absolutely love to have some more drivers here to race with them here on Monday and Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. More information in the description of this broadcast. Take a look. Or feel free to reach out to Keith Kincaid or any of the ESRC administration. They do a great job and are looking for the green flag. Keith Kincaid. Green flag once again as they light him up for 14 laps to go. As 3 cars under a blanket for position number 2. Scott Tice, David Brill, Chris Farmer, Chris Reinald looking to jump in there. 4 cars under a blanket. It looks like Brett McCoy making some contact. But it looks like a yellow car, maybe Russ Harold. With 13 laps to go. Keith Kincaid just running away with this one. $11 laps to go for the leader as Brill and Scott Tice continue to battle for position number 2 on the raceway. A 3-car battle here behind them. Russ Harold, oh, Chris Reinald, and up and over goes Brett McCoy, no. Unfortunate for Wednesday night's late model stock winner. Him and Chris Reinald got together. Just nowhere Brett McCoy can go. Second caution of the night with 10 laps to go on the board. Not what Brett McCoy wanted to see. Just an unfortunate stroke of luck here tonight at Volusia. Gonna pull it down pit road. Chris Reinald also crab walking around the raceway. Not gonna make it to pit road. Oh, actually missing a tire, I should say. As McCoy, Russ Harold coming out once again. Brett McCoy, just not his night tonight. Had the issues in the heat race. Now having issues in the feature once again. Just unfortunate for the number 1 Nielsen left-hander chassis machine out of Poplar Grove, Illinois. Let's take a look back at the replay right here on the DRN. As Brett was coming around turn number 4, just Rydal was there and just nowhere to go with Russ Harold on his inside. Let's take a look on board with Brett McCoy. Just, yeah, nowhere. Wild ride for McCoy. Nowhere he can go. Just unfortunate. As McCoy still having issue after issue after issue here on the dirt side of the ESRC. As green flag back in the air with 9 laps to go. Keith Kincaid still out front. Scott Tice and Chris Farmer battle for third position. Scott Tice takes it. 8 laps to go on the board. Kincaid getting chased down by David Brill. 0.5 of a second. 0.6 now as he heads into turns 3 and 4. But can Brill catch him in 7 laps? That is the question. That everybody has. 6 laps to go on the board for Keith Kincaid. As a battle for third place is broken out here. Chris Farmer and Scott Tice going at it as they head into turns 3 and 4. Tice takes over that third spot. David Brill still in the second spot with 5 laps to go. Can he catch Keith Kincaid? Will Keith gain another victory here in the 2026 Season 5 ESRC? 4 laps to go as they pass the line. Kincaid out to a 1.3 second lead. Yellow flag is out once again with 3 laps to go. As we will take a look at who it is. Looks to be Tim McDowell. Let's take a quick look at that right here. McDowell looks to have been fighting with Russ Harold. Went up the track a little bit. Chris Rydal got on top of him, and McDowell just spins it out on the backstretch. As Keith was so close to catching him and lapping him there. A lot of drivers, not their night tonight. The iRacing pace truck pulls back out onto the racetrack. Kincaid catches the iRacing pace truck, white flag in the air. And it looks like it's going to be all Keith Kincaid. It will end under caution here tonight. Not the race they wanted, but certainly a victory here on the tour nonetheless for the driver out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Murfreesboro, Tennessee, I apologize. Kincaid going to get his second victory of the season on the tour. Actually, might just be a 1-lap shootout for the win. As they had come to the white flag as the yellow came out. Maybe just a 1-lap shootout. We will have to see. All the cars following the iRacing pace truck. iRacing pace truck pulls down pit road. Green flag, white flag in the air. Does anybody have anything for Kincaid? Kincaid just pulls away on the restart. anybody have anything for him in turns 3 and 4? Not going to be enough. Race number 2 goes to Keith Kincaid. Actually, no. White flag, and it's over. Keith Kincaid victorious. At Volusia. Your unofficial results here for tonight's race. I'm going to go through them quickly here. Keith Kincaid, your winner here tonight. David Brill, position number 2. Scott Tice takes home position number 3. Chris Farmer, a great showing here tonight, position number 4. Gary Offit, strong showing out of that number 94 machine, taking home position number 5. Kyle Adams, position number 6, great run for him. Greg Parmalee started on the pole, position number 7 is where he'll finish. Position number 8, great comeback here for Brett McCoy, Wednesday night's late model stock winner at New Smyrna. Position number 9 goes to Rob Cassidy. Chris Rydall, position number 10. Position number 11, Russell Harold. And in position number 12, Quinn McLean. Position number 13 goes to Tim McDowell. Chris Hall in position number 14, and Andy Patton 5 laps down in position number 15. We will take a short break here on the DRN, but we'll be right back to talk to our top 3 finishers.
Team Holloway Racing Graphics is your one-stop vinyl shop. We specialize in RC racing of all scales. We do full-size race cars as well. Have a sign that needs done? Vehicles lettered? We can do it. PT Speed Shop. We rebuild quarter-scale motors, break them in, dyno them, and get you back to victory lane. We have a parts store opening soon. Check it out at ptspeedshop.com. Check us out at teamholloway.com. We would love to take care of your vinyl needs.
As we bring in your third place finisher here to Team Holloway Graphics Racing and Graphics Victory Lane on the podium, Scott, you had a great race tonight. Kept your nose relatively clean and was having some battles up towards the front all night long. What'd you think about the racetrack tonight?
Yeah, racetrack was good. I mean, this ain't one of my better tracks, but racetrack was good. Everybody drove with respect. I think me and Andy we had about 6 or 7 laps there where we were swapping slide jobs, just a ton of fun. But I think we finished where we was probably going to end up finishing. So it was a good night.
I mean, tell us about some of those battles you had. You had some great battles with David trying to get to that second spot and even trying to catch Keith early on. You looked pretty quick.
Yeah, we had a good car. I mean, the car was good. Like I said, this isn't one of my better tracks, and usually if there's a little bit to catfish down at the bottom, I seem to do a little bit better. But hats off to Keith and David. They did a phenomenal job. Dave is really strong this year. I had, Chris behind me, Farmer, was breathing down my neck there. So it was a fun race, just a great race.
All right. Any sponsors, family, friends you'd like to thank here while you got the time?
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Want to thank you, number one, for putting this stuff on for us, and you're doing a great job. Just want to say thanks, and of course to Rob and Keith for keeping this thing going. All the guys that come out and race with us. It's just been a ton of fun. Ruck, offshore, Tipsy Tim's Distillery, Andy's Triple X, just all those guys, Triples by Greg, all those guys. Thanks for what they do, and we'll see y'all Wednesday.
All right. Congratulations on your third place finish, Scott.
Thank you, buddy.
Your second place finisher here, David Brill. David,
Yes,
you
sir.
looked pretty good tonight. You were sitting in second most of the time. You looked like you had something early on here for Keith, but just another week, another, I mean,
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
finish behind
Yeah.
Keith, you know.
Yeah. There are a lot of big fish in this league. You just happen to, uh, you know, uh, catch it at the right time and get in the right place at the right time. And it worked out for me tonight. Greg and Keith kind of got a little bit tangled up there, and I parted, like Keith was saying, I parted the seas and led a few laps. So that was awesome. It was a lot of fun. It was a good run. The car felt good. We're starting to work on different settings. As far as depth and getting the perspective all right. So it's pretty decent. Like I say, I'm new to this, so it's been good.
Definitely. You of course you said you led some laps here tonight, got some, you know, rather good experience leading the field and great seat time in front of Keith, especially to learn how to defend and race them
Yeah,
competitively, if you will, to a guy like Keith.
exactly. Keith, like I say, I mean, everyone knows this, but Keith is the cream of the crop here. He's the class of the show. But yeah, it was nice to run outside of him, and even and to get into watch him pull on the inside, and then you'd have to kind of drop down to kind of defend that turn 4, turn 1 and turn 2 was up on the high side for the most part, and that seemed to work best for me. I could go high, turn 1, turn 2, and then pitch it down midway in and come into that corner, turn 3, turn 4 low. It seemed to what worked for me the best. But yeah, it was a great run.
Well, hope you had fun. Any sponsors, friends, family you'd like to thank before we get
Yeah,
to
of
our
course. Yeah, I do. Yeah, appreciate my family. They're all probably watching this. Jason Ledger, Madden, Hendricks. They're out there probably watching this and watching Grandpa cruise around the track. My wife and the whole family, everyone that puts up with this and keeps me rolling and keeps me busy, keeps me going into it. I shout out to Rocky Ridge Labradors and Rocky Ridge Vineyards as well, big sponsor of mine. So yeah, and I appreciate what you're doing too. I appreciate you as well, Tim.
congratulations on your second place finish here tonight, David.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. And we'll see you. Hopefully, we'll see you around.
And the winner himself, 2 weeks in a row here for Mr. Keith Kincaid. Keith, another week, another victory.
Hey, Tim. Yeah, yeah, had a great run tonight. It wasn't as clean as I wanted it to be. We had a little trouble in qualifying, clipped a wall, lost our first lap, and had to start a little farther back than I'm used to. And then in the heat race, unfortunately, he was trying to slide to Scott Tyson, got his front end there, and that was just very unfortunate for him. Definitely didn't mean to do that and feel bad about that. But the feature was interesting. Car come to me, found the fast line in 3 and 4, and yeah, just everything worked out great there in the end.
David was talking a little bit about, what it was like to defend against you, Keith, and just talking about, having to go low and defend the lead in 3 and 4 from your maneuvers in 3 and 4 and just all the different things he was trying to do to keep you behind him. And it was very interesting to just hear his side of it. And of course, even early on, you said you had the struggles in in qualifying, of course, tapping the wall, and then a little bit in your heat race, and especially even in the feature in the early laps there. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, on that restart, we got a good jump there on the outside, which is very hard to do in these dirt cars. And I think Greg just didn't know I was up beside him there, and he come up the track a little bit and got into my nose, and we both had to back out, and that opened the door up for David Brill, and he shot to the lead. So then I had to work on him for a few laps. He was running really good tonight, but once we got the good run and was able to get the slider on him, we were able to kind of put it in cruise control, bring her home on the top step.
Yeah, in the last couple laps there, kind of got a little interesting with that caution towards the end. Tell us your thoughts about that whole deal.
Yeah, anytime you have a caution that late in a race with just a few laps to go, I mean, it really opens the door up for anything to happen. It stacks everybody back up. But I knew if I could get a real good jump on the restart, that I could, get back into the groove of it and defend if I had to. But car was just working great tonight, so made it easy for me.
All right, Keith. Any friends, family, sponsors you'd like to thank here tonight?
Sure. Yeah, I would like to thank Rob Cassaday with the RD Ranch for heading up this league and everything he does for the league and the racers. Checker Flag RC Raceway in Kansas, Ruck Offshore, Cal Adams with MRL for giving us this platform. Team Holloway Racing and Graphics for the Victory Lane and all the amazing awards and stuff that he does for the league. And then the McCoys, Brett and his father, Wiley Raceway Slot Car Racing. They're a big supporter of the league. So, appreciate all those guys and everything they do for us.
All right, well, I'm going to let you go and celebrate here tonight. Keith, congratulations on your victory.
Thank you, Tim. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Keith Kincaid, for the second week in a row, victorious here on the Elite Late Model Dirt Tour. I have been your host here tonight, Tim Dayton, and this has been the Elite Seniors Racing Championship race number 2, presented by RaceMRL.com. We will see you next time, right here on the DRN.